It's May 11th, 2012. The island has awoken, and I think I may have as well. Welcome to episode 66. I'm Daniel Calvin, and this is Make and Break.
Bob Wood, National Program Director of the Chum Group, worked with us in producing...
Hold up, before we get started...
Guess who's coming? Guess who's coming? Guess who's coming?
Dan Calvin.
Back again! Who is he? Just your favorite DJ Savior. Using and confusing beats that you never heard. 1990. Put a smile on your face like ultra bright.
You're just fessing, man. I don't even want to hear about it.
You're listening to Make and Break Radio on RadioMackinac.org. Welcome to Make and Break Radio on Mackinac.org. I'm your host, Daniel Calvin. This week's episode doesn't reflect any kind of milestone other than the fact that it's airing on the 13th hotel opening that I've participated in. 66 is an old highway and a round number. It's also divisible by 3 22 times. What it isn't is just as unimportant. So we'll just plow ahead. Earlier this week, I found myself in a bit of a crisis. Now, I gotta open up a beer for this one. I decided that I wanted to eat out. There are many more establishments opened up on the island these days, so my options are opened up as well. Mind you, that this was Saturday afternoon, late enough that lunch was iffy and too early for dinner. When I do eat out, it is usually for sandwiches at lunch. Did I want to shake things up and wait for dinner? Did I want to order a meal that would be well suited for carryout? I still hadn't decided where to go. I looked online at the menus for Horns, Goodfellows, and the Pub, places I've never had dinner before. No answers came. Soon, as it always does, Facebook distracted me. As I pursued the latest inanity that only acquaintances that I know could possibly supply, I saw a post from friend of the show, Jesse Bader, exclaiming that he was excited that the Gatehouse was ready to serve food as his favorite dish. Nachos con carne was available. Get in my belly, he wrote. That was it. Nachos. Simple as that. Nachos. Eat in, carry out. It wouldn't matter. I bounced over to Grand Hotel's menus, hoping to learn more about my query. All of my angst would soon be relieved. A plan was hatched, and carry out nachos and an Alan Arkin film would compromise a major part of my early evening. What perfection. Late night menu. Late night menu? Really? Damn you, Bader! I would have to wait, but I didn't want to. The whole scheme was ruined. I put it out of my mind, and I took... The whole scheme ruined. I put it out of my mind, and I took nap number 2 of the day. The following day, as I tinkered around the house, the seed that germinated and wilted rose up from its wrinkled former self and blossomed. But questions remained. Where would I eat? Would I sit at a table? Or at the bar? Would I drink alcohol? Would I try to write jokes for the show? If I did write jokes for the show while sitting at the bar, what would women think about it? Would I seem aloof and unintelligent? Would I look like an asshole? Would I look like I was writing everything they said down like a creep? Would they talk to me then? After seeing me, would they ever talk to me? While I dressed for the weather, I pondered on more questions. What would I write about? Where to eat? I still hadn't figured that out. Was I really still even working on that most basic of questions? Horns? Maybe? Could I write it horns? Do they still have tacos? Just kind of in the mood for tacos. If I go to a more familiar place, would I be distracted by pals? I rode down the hill thinking of nothing else. Cadott Avenue, Market Street, both passed under my dyno's tires. I found myself turning down Hoban Street. VI Goodfellows, VI Goodfellows, VI Goodfellows, VI Goodfellows. At the last possible moment, the booths at the VI won. By the time I was seated by a rather pretty hostess, my angst was gone. My confidence was back, and I ordered salmon, and I wrote this story. This hour of Make and Break Radio is brought to you by Holmes Brick Hardware of Wadsworth, Ohio. The local source for your needs such as hose, black nipples, ball cocks, nuts, excellent screws, and all types of female to male adapters. Here's a clip from Mark Maron's WTF podcast. I don't remember who he was interviewing that day. I don't remember what episode number it was. I'm technically stealing this. Nonetheless, this was a grouping of words put together in a way that made a whole lot of sense to me, and the trouble that I was finding myself into mentally last summer. This man's way of thinking turned my mindset completely around. I won't say that I agree with him 100%, but it was a great thing to hear somebody say something to the contrary what is normally expressed, that you need to always be super happy-go-lucky, and if you're not always fun times or not always looking forward to everything, then you're a big downer. Here's Mark Maron. Thank you.
I don't know how the hell people get things done. I know that once you start to do them, everything's okay. I'm working on my book. I'm writing my book. I'm doing that every day. I just got that Dragon software for my computer where I can talk to my computer and it writes things down. Man, that is one step away from being too close to your computer. I think it's only a matter of time before we can share our problems with them, maybe talk to them about what's going on. Because it's certainly getting sort of difficult to talk to some people in the world. I am so fucking sick of people that preach positivity. It's making me nauseous. Adam Scott is on the show today. He's a very nice guy. I believe a thoughtful guy. We'll talk to him in just a minute. But all you people that you think you're positive, hey man, Maron's too negative. That guy's too negative. Yeah? Well, let me tell you something. Negativity and positivity are almost exactly the same in most cases. They're coping mechanisms. Neither one imply that you're a better person or a more decent person. The positive people, the people that actually preach this idea of positivity. Hey man, I'm positive. I'm not negative. They're doing the exact same thing. Positivity implies intolerance 90% of the time. That means you're just like, hey, get the fuck out of my space, man. You're negative. Positivity, look, I know negativity can be draining. I know negativity can be bottomless, and there's not a lot you can do. And I know that positivity can be bullying and intolerant and arrogant in its way, because you think you're a better person, because I'm just doing everything I can to be positive, which means excluding negativity from my life. Where's the empathy there? Where's the caring? There's no caring. You're not putting better things out into the world. You're just coping in a different way and being a little bit more easy to be around. But you're no better. It doesn't make you a decent person to be positive. It's just a different type of denial. To actually get to the core of the humility of who you are, man, that's a whole different thing. I don't know why I'm worked up about it. Because probably somebody said that I was too negative. You think that could be it?
So there's that. I'm sure that might have come across the wrong way to some people, and then, of course, there was the language there involved, and usually, from a comedian, you're expecting comedy. But there was something really great about how he discussed the idea of the coping mechanism and how it was, it's just another way to deal with things, and that sometimes some of us can't always be super positive people, and it's really weird to have the positive people look down on us and ridicule us, like, hey man, you're killing my vibe, get out of my space, you're killing my buzz, that kind of thing. It's kind of funny, like, you're already kind of down, and somebody's kicking you in the teeth at the same time. But I can also understand that sometimes the downer people are also those that are just looking for attention any way they can find it, and somehow they've concluded that being the downer person is their method of finding attention. So there's my psychological rant of Make and Break episode number 66. How weird is this? Well, wait until you see my computer. You'll understand what it means. Why my mind is in the space that it is. That made absolutely zero sense. Whatever. All right. Hey, everybody, let's get on with the music. This episode of Make and Break Radio is brought to you by that drunken 45-year-old lady down the bar, telling 34-year-olds what it's like to be old since 2011. Reminding you as always that she was once a ballerina and always curious about what you're saying to someone else. When you begin to question your life choices, talk to 45-year-old drunk lady. Free lifestyle consultants and more for anyone with ears.